roll it.
My name is Dylan, and welcome to the podcast.
And I'm your co-host Seth, and this is our ninth take. So take it away, Dylan.
Well, today we'll be talking about a variety of subjects, including literally anything. But we're going to start with some quick-fire questions.
Awesome.
Roll it.
Say that again, because these aren't quick-fire. These are just normal.
We could call them quick-fire questions.
One we just steal it from Reddit blatantly.
Okay, we're going to just...
We'll leave it in.
We're going to leave it?
Yeah.
Okay, are you sure?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, and this is We Stole It from Reddit. Let's go.
Okay, so... Number 1, you get to learn one skill of your choosing instantly, okay?
Okay.
One skill. So, it could be guitar, it could be singing, it could be blacksmithing,
Blacksmithing. I hear that there's a real need for blacksmithing right now.
I mean, I know you're making a joke, but you're not wrong. You can make some...
What is this, D&D? Do I also need thieves' tools? Proficiency in Abyssal, the language? Okay, so if I was to pick one... proficiency in real life, it would probably be, extreme cooking. So, Bobby Flay.
Extreme. Sorry, go ahead.
Cutthroat Kitchen.
Oh, no.
Today you will be cooking in a kitchen upside down with chainsaws being thrown around you. So, welcome to the show.
It's like Chopped. Every time you get chopped, you just get, your neck slit.
You just hit the mic.
Okay.
So, yes, extreme cooking. So, Bobby Flay, I want to be able to cook with my heart, okay? Okay, and just cut everything, okay?
Right.
Perfect cuts, perfectly. I want the mental knowledge, chicken, it's done, okay? I just know it instantly in my head.
Wait, so, is that a reenactment, or literally you can cook it in 4 seconds?
It was a reenactment.
The psychic powers of Bobby Flay.
Oh, I didn't even think that was an option. Can I become Bobby Flay? Is that a proficiency?
I mean, yeah, it'd be kind of hard, though.
Oh.
You'd be pushing your luck.
I mean, Bobby Flay's pretty cool.
Is it worth it? You could probably, end world hunger, but instead, Bobby Flay.
Well, I mean, it was about, one skill, and my skill is I want to be Bobby Flay.
Okay. I don't have anything that could top that. I'd probably say some sort of instrument, something, maybe violin. Violin, I heard, is
That's so
hard to learn.
boring. Literally, you could have anything, and you chose an instrument?
You could have said the best cook, but instead you're Bobby Flay.
Bobby Flay is the best cook.
You could be better than Bobby Flay.
That's not an option, because it doesn't exist. Because now I am Bobby Flay. And you can't beat Bobby Flay.
Well, guess what? You've just been chopped. I'm sorry.
Well, this entire thing has gone off the tracks. So what's your answer? Violin?
Okay, I don't know. Some sort of instrument, I feel.
An instrument? You trying to get the ladies with an instrument?
Why are you judging me so hard?
Well, I mean, it's obviously entertaining of some kind.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, on to the next question.
Okay, on to our next question. Dylan, in a video game, if you go into an empty room and see a save point, health packs, extra ammo, stuff like that, so you know some serious stuff's about to go down. So what's the real-life equivalent of this?
Ooh, it's whenever you come into a restaurant to work, so you're, standing there and your time in, and, it's dead silent in the restaurant. There's no one there. It's the calm before the storm. In literally less than 10 minutes, the entire restaurant will be filled with Karens screaming about French fries and needing ham sandwiches.
Okay, so that has some personal anger for Dylan.
Yes, just in case anyone wanted to know, I'm a manager at a restaurant. Very important information. I knew you wanted to know that.
This has to do with Bobby Flay?
Absolutely. That's why I want to be Bobby Flay. Then I could own my own restaurant because I'm Bobby Flay. Actually, if I was Bobby Flay, he already owns restaurants. That makes me instantly a millionaire.
I'm so confused.
What's there to be confused about? Bobby Flay is life. Here, throw me the phone. I want to ask a question.
Go ahead.
Did we miss one? Okay. What series, movies, video games, books, would you want to see from a side character's perspective?
A side character? Any movie or TV show?
Any movie, TV show, book, anything.
That's really interesting.
I want to see Harry Potter from Voldemort's point of view. I am sure he's extremely misunderstood. 100% Voldemort, he didn't mean to kill people, okay? He just wanted to, something. I don't know.
Okay, I'd say Shrek 2 from Donkey. Can you imagine? Oh, God. I'm cutting that out.
You're not cutting that out. This is staying in.
Dude, no.
This is staying in.
Uh-uh.
That was a good joke, though.
It was. I'm going to keep all the clips for later. I'll keep, the unedited podcast somewhere else.
Yeah, we'll put these on a YouTube, what is it called? Stream highlights.
Okay. Where was I?
Talking about Donkey in Shrek 2.
Can you imagine the philosophical prowess of Shrek from the view of Donkey?
I cannot imagine it because that's ridiculous. But
Yes,
Donkey is the best character in that movie by far.
No, I want to change that. I'm not talking about Shrek.
I don't think I've actually seen Shrek 2.
But
I honestly haven't seen Shrek 1 in 10 years.
So guys, that's the end of the podcast. We're gonna get out of here now.
We're gonna take a break and go watch Shrek, apparently.
Yeah, 3 times.
3 times? Is that necessary?
Yes.
I don't think it's necessary.
Well, how'd you know about the dragon? You haven't seen Shrek 2.
I've seen it once.
Oh, okay, Dylan's a liar, confirmed.
Yes, that's it. Okay, here's your next question. Are you ready? This is a very serious one.
Right.
Dating apps. Instead of having a picture of the individual, it now has pictures of their car or house or how they prepare their tea, etc. Which picture would you look at to figure out the most about the person? What picture shows the most about the person?
Okay, so I think the picture shows a lot about you, because that's creepy.
What picture?
Any picture. Let me think for a second. It could be, I guess their room seems obvious, how they keep everything. Maybe how many alarms they have.
How many alarms there is? That's pretty good. I like it. My answer is their home screen on their computer. See how it's organized, see what all programs they have. If they have Minecraft, they're instantly a winner in my book.
A winner?
A winner.
Is that on your Tinder profile? I'm looking for winners.
Yes, it is now. I'm gonna add that after we get off. But what picture do you think would the biggest red flag? What in one of those pictures?
Probably how they treat animals. That could be a huge
So a picture of their
or a red flag.
Pets.
Yes.
Okay. I would probably say a picture of their countertops of their bathroom. Okay. Now hear me out. How many hairsprays they have might depend on my relationship with them. If they have over 5, that's too many.
Why?
Because I don't want to spend an hour waiting on someone to do their hair in the morning. That's ridiculous.
So they could be your soulmate, but if they take over an hour in the bathroom, they're done.
You know what? I'll change my mind. It would probably their fridge. Because you can tell a lot about someone by what food they eat. If they eat things like tofu, they're not a winner. Bacon, a winner.
Pineapple on pizza?
We do not speak of these people. They don't exist.
Well, alright, next question.
Okay, so now on to the next segment, conspiracy theories.
Ooh.
Illuminati confirmed. Which conspiracy theory do you personally find most interesting?
So not the one I think is true, but
most interesting.
Okay. I gotta go with most interesting is the flat Earth theory, because it's something directly observable that people still don't believe. Okay, so have you seen the Flat Earth documentary on Netflix before?
No, I don't think I have.
Okay. So it's an unbiased one, though, right? So it goes around these flat earthers, alright? They're conventions, right?
They have conventions?
They do. They have large conventions with many people. So I originally thought this whole thing was a hoax.
Yeah, it was a joke,
I originally
right?
thought this whole thing was a hoax, right? I did not think people were taking it seriously, okay? Maybe 1 or 2 really gullible people. There was a lot of people. So they were doing these tests, right? And there was this certain test where they had this barometer. I can't remember the word for it. But it was this certain device, alright, that had a measurement that went straight up, okay? So you put it onto the ground. It's super, super expensive, but for some reason they were able to afford it. And it went straight up, and basically, if the Earth was round, when it turned, it would measure 15 degrees, right? So if it's going straight up and the Earth turned, it would turn 15 degrees because that's the math how it works out for 24 hours. So it ended up showing that it turned 15 degrees. So they proved themselves wrong. And would you believe me if in this documentary they proved themselves wrong 2 times in a row? They only did 2 experiments and both times they were wrong. On this TV show, okay, on this documentary. So, the second one, they set up these huge planks, right, with holes in the middle, across a very long distance. They used a very powerful light on one side to shine through. If the Earth was flat, you'd be able to see the light very clearly on the other side. It hit the top of the last board, showing the curve of the Earth, and the guys were just like, that experiment's faulty, and they legit just, they proved themselves wrong 2 times, not even kidding.
Okay, so that just proves that the future of mankind is screwed.
That's it, yeah. We're
like,
done.
Genuinely. My favorite conspiracy is the birds aren't real. Have you heard about that one?
I have.
Okay, yeah. I definitely think that birds are, spies from the Russian government, obviously. Because, the Russians need to spy on us constantly. They're actually watching us right now, using this data to plot against us and destroy us from the inside out.
Very nice.
So if, birds are in fact, drones, okay?
Okay.
What would dinosaurs be?
Wait, what?
Because, think about it. Modern science shows that dinosaurs are the, predecessors of birds.
Mm-hmm.
So are dinosaurs also not real? The cavemen were spying on other cavemen?
I'm just curious, is the birds not real theory? Does anyone believe that? Actually?
I'm sure there probably are people out there that believe that, but most likely no. And that's why it's my favorite, because no one believes it, and yet it still exists.
That's always fun. I mean, yeah, the flat earth thing is just insane. Every single time they see evidence, yeah, anyway.
Okay, what do you think the most realistic conspiracy theory is?
Oh, aliens, 100%. I mean, they may not be to, our cognitive level yet, but there's gotta be some sort of life form. Okay, so, I may be wrong about this, but I remember reading, so if the sun was just slightly farther or closer away from the Earth, then life could not exist, okay? So, it's very, very possible there's no aliens anywhere else, but at, the rate everything's expanding, there's gotta be some sort of DNA, right?
I think it's possible, but I'm not sure. Because even if it was just an animal or something, like a parasite or amoeba.
Yeah.
I feel like we would have some sign of it with the amount of technology we have. There's got to be some signs. We haven't come across anywhere with the correct conditions to support life other than Earth.
I mean, yeah, that's really true. What do you think about the theory that the moon landing was faked?
I think it's a really interesting theory, and it really is a difficult one to prove, because nowadays, and even back then, video editing very much existed, and very much could have been faked. However, I do think that there is enough evidence to prove that the moon landing did indeed happen.
Okay, that's very true. Now, here's the thing. So, I do think, absolutely, the moon landing happened 100%. But do you think that NASA maybe, had an extra clip just to be safe, Maybe something they faked that they could have put out if it didn't work? Because think about it. This was one of the most competitive eras ever. Every single nation was
This
trying
was
to get the
mid-Cold
first man.
War, right?
Yeah, exactly. So, every single nation was trying to get on the moon, the very first time. So, obviously, that's a big reason of why people believe that, which I can understand a lot more than Flat Earth, which is just you're wrong. But, do you think that NASA maybe thought of that outcome and maybe created a second tape just in case?
I don't think NASA did. I think if anyone, the U.S. government did, would have done it as propaganda of sorts. Used it against the other nations as, hey, we did this, you didn't. And the fact that we actually did it, I think, can be done to prove, it's even better because we are superior. That's what it showed, even though we weren't the first ones in space, we made it to the moon first.
Interesting thought. All right.
Okay, so,
You're good.
gonna go from there. So what do you think the, stupid is? Least likely? No. Yeah, that's the word. Least likely or stupidest conspiracy theory.
Oh, there's so many from, okay, so it's between the bird one you mentioned, I gotta say, and probably like the reptile government, that really old one.
Yeah, I like that one though. It's funny, reptilizoids in government. I mean, I can definitely believe it. I mean, have you seen like Nancy Pelosi? She looks kind of like a lizard. Got the leathery skin and everything.
Wow. Okay, this audio is probably gonna sound super unbalanced since we haven't fully figured out how to do this yet. But
Absolutely.
Episode 2 should go a lot smoother.
Yes, it should. Or episode 1, take 45.
You're on like the 8th take now.
Okay. So I think the stupidest is probably, honestly, the Illuminati theory. Like, if you look at it, it believes that there's this huge society out there that controls the majority of the world.
Like the interconnection?
Yeah, interconnections and like a new world order is their goal. And I don't think that people are smart enough, like, to be able to do that. Like, seeing the, like, difficulties of just the U.S. government struggle in everything.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's a group of people that could do significantly better and be able to, like, survive for as long as the Illuminati has been said to survive. And definitely you see all the people who've been like Kanye West in the Illuminati and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, if there was an Illuminati, I don't think people like Kanye West would be in the top of the list. I think you'd see people like huge scientists or like psychologists. You wouldn't see people like entertainers be involved with that.
Right. Did you see that he's out now, but that Kanye ran for president?
I think that would have been a very interesting election.
Okay, he didn't go with either party. He named his own party. I'm gonna look it up. I cannot remember what it was. Okay, before we get back to that, he ran under the birthday party.
Wait, is it legitimately what he called
Legitimately, it was Republican, Democrat, and birthday. Yeah.
Happy birthday to Kanye West. That works, right? There we. Okay, so what was that? Was it a conspiracy? Yeah, it was the Illuminati.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't definitely think the Illuminati exists at all.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say that that's the stupidest, because I also think it's the most believed. I think it's definitely one of the most, like, taken seriously.
Probably after anti-vax or flat Earth.
I don't think anti-vax is a conspiracy theory. I think it's more of just false information.
Right.
But yeah, definitely after flat Earth, it would probably be one of the more believed theories, and I think that it just doesn't work in reality. Okay, next topic. Speaking of conspiracies, being a manager isn't all that it's meant up to be, okay?
Okay.
It actually sometimes sucks. And in fact, I have quite the story.
Wait,
so,
what has that to do with conspiracy theories?
A lot. See, managers and conspiracy have one thing in common.
Which is?
They have to deal with a bunch of crap. Okay, so I have a story about ham sandwiches, okay? Now, let's discuss what a ham sandwich is, okay? A ham sandwich is a slab of ham on white bread, okay?
Okay.
Now, I work in an American diner, and so we serve ham for breakfast and sandwiches for lunch and dinner. We don't actually have a ham sandwich. So we'll start this. We'll start the story here. Okay.
Okay. A real quick message to our viewers. Near the end of the story, you may want to lower the volume of your headphones because the demonstration of this man will be
very, very realistic.
Continue, Dylan.
Okay, so we're gonna begin with I was answering phone calls, taking orders like as one does, cashiering a restaurant, and I get this phone call, and so I'm like, "Hello, this is Dylan of this restaurant, and what can I get for you for your meal?" And he's like, "I want a slab of ham." Okay, now I want you to imagine the most southern accent you possibly could. Like, take my accent, crank it up times 10. Okay,
all right.
So I want a slab of ham. Okay, and I'm like, "Sir, we don't have slabs of ham. We have slices of ham that we put on, biscuits in the morning and sandwiches." And he's like, "Well, gosh dang it, I want a slab of ham." He then used some very lovely profanities and ended up hanging up on us. Okay, so I was like, "Okay, That's it. End of the
That's a lot of
story.
business lost.
I mean,
you want him as your customer, right?
No, not really. We don't have ham. Go to the other store that has ham. The ham store.
Oh, of course.
Yeah. There's tons of those around here. The ham store. Obviously.
Ham store. I mean,
you ever been there?
Yeah, I mean, that's like my favorite store.
The ham store? Absolutely. One of my favorites as well. So, we go on about a day and completely forgot about it. About an hour later, I get another phone call. It's like, hello, can I get a ham sandwich? Okay.
That's so loud.
So, I'm like, so he calls back about an hour later, and I didn't even recognize it at first. So he starts with, hello, I would like a ham sandwich. Okay? So I'm like,
very
sir?
Clearly like the M.
Yeah.
Pronunciating, okay?
Sammich. That's how you spell it.
Okay.
Sandwich. Okay? So I misspoke, and I say, okay, sir, let me grab my menu book. Now, I misspoke. I meant to say menu and ticket book, 2 separate words. But I combined them into menu book. And
right.
So he then yells at me, you don't need no gosh dang menu for a ham sandwich? And hangs up. And that was, of course, censored for your viewing pleasurement. Okay? So I'm like, okay, this guy really just needs some ham. But I was like, it's done. That's 2 times. He hopefully has given up now.
Oh, yeah, sounds like something a normal person would do.
Absolutely. So we just wait and, go about the day. And about 30 minutes before close that day, this man walks in. Now I want you to imagine the most southern redneck person you know. The most inbred southern bumpkin you can imagine. Missing teeth, wearing overalls, and looks like he just snorted Mountain Dew.
Okay.
So imagine that. Now that's what he looks like, okay? He comes up to the desk, and I say, hello, sir, how can I help you? Because I didn't know it was him. And he's like, I don't want to talk to you. Okay? And I was like, okay, let me get someone. Now, my manager was standing next to me. So I was like, okay, can you speak to her? And he goes, no, I don't want to speak to her either. So at this point, we're like, who do we get? But thankfully, my boss's girlfriend was there that day. And something you should know about my boss's girlfriend at the time, she is a very independent person. Extremely set in her way, independent, like, just absolutely gives no craps kind of person. So she comes to the counter, and he's like, okay, I want a ham sandwich, and these fools can't seem to understand. They hung up on me twice. We never hung up on him, by the way, just so you're aware.
I mean, just gonna chime in. So far, you seem completely in the wrong for not giving him the ham. Not gonna lie, like...
How can we give him ham that we
cool.
don't have? We don't have a slab of ham.
I mean...
What? Okay, let's actually talk about that. What is a slab?
A slab?
Yeah.
A thick, large...
chunk. Okay.
And you throw it down on the table, it does this. Right?
Yeah, that's what a slab is, okay?
Yeah.
And we don't have that. We have slices of ham. It actually comes pre-sliced.
Okay.
So, to make a chunk of ham, we would have to, first off, take, like, hundreds of slices. And then, like, cook them into one lump. Now, do you want that?
I mean, that guy probably can't taste anymore, so...
Yeah, it's all the Mountain Dew. Gone to his head. Okay, so he's like, okay, I want a ham sandwich. And so the boss's girlfriend is like, so you mean a piece of ham on white bread? And he goes, he has the audacity to say, okay, I don't like the attitude in here. I just came in to get my ham sandwich. In fact, I don't want to eat here ever again. I think that this place needs some work. And he just walks out. Well, he walks to the door. And at that point, the boss's girlfriend mutters so that he can hear, well, we didn't want it anyways. And he stands there, flips us off, and then leaves. So that is probably my best work story, I would have to say. I mean, what do you think? Ham sandwich?
That's solid. I'd give that like a 9 out of 10.
9 out of 10? Yeah. What could have made it a 10 out of 10? Had we actually, thrown fist over some ham?
I think if he went outside and in spite, barrel his truck into your store.
I don't think that would have been a good story. I mean, maybe on like the crime,
Well, like, same
podcast.
exact thing, but the crime podcast.
Yeah, I mean that doesn't seem like a good like story
Well, it's the same thing, but he just does it at the end.
at the end.
Like he goes out.
So for
he's
comedic effect,
yeah, I mean to make it a 10.
yeah, make it a 10.
Story wise.
What else would have made it a 10?
Okay, let's think. So he comes in. He has like 4 cigarettes in his mouth all at once. All right.
Okay.
He lights them all in one.
If
quick,
he has a Mountain Dew just in his
Mountain
hand.
Dew. He comes in riding a donkey.
A donkey.
So he comes in,
Okay. I didn't know you could ride yourself.
Anyway, he comes in on the donkey, alright? He's
Okay.
smoking like 4 cigarettes at once.
Gotcha.
So you know a 10-gallon hat?
Yeah.
Just imagine that, but like 50 gallons, so it's like 4 feet high.
I like it. Okay.
So this man comes in, same thing, yells for his ham sandwich as loud. I don't think my voice is... So he comes in, he's yelling for his ham sandwich, he's got his cigarettes, right? He's got his hat.
I think it would have made it better had he asked for something else other than a ham sandwich.
Ooh, that'd been good.
Like
something else you didn't have?
Yeah, something else we didn't have.
Okay, so it's like, give me the pig and I'll make it myself.
So like, a slab of ham and then like a whole chicken. Okay? So he's like, okay, y'all don't have slabs of ham? I want a whole chicken.
It's so loud.
Well, I mean, I'm just showing you what I had to deal with that day. Okay? It scarred me deeply.
Deeply? So what happens if you see that man walk into your restaurant again?
I'm pretty sure he got banned, and I'd heard from the manager that he'd been banned before.
Well,
so, yeah.
But if he did walk in, could you kick him out?
If he did?
Yeah.
Would I what?
Could you kick him out, like, legally?
Legally? I think, yeah, you have the right to refuse service for any reason.
Wow,
in
that's
Arkansas.
very nice. But would you?
Would I?
Like, you need some good
Me
stories.
personally?
Yeah.
No, absolutely not. I need stories. That's right.
You were probably yelling at the other people, like, with him, right? You were on his side?
Yeah, definitely. Maybe I could have, like, a new employee ask him about ham sandwiches. That would be entertaining. Have one of the few that wasn't there.
Second episode of the podcast.
You do?
The ham sandwich guy.
The ham sandwich. That's going to be our first guest, ham sandwich guy.
You bring him in, he just destroys the set out of rage.
The mics get shoved up a pig.
Excuse me. What were we talking about? The
pigs.
The guy? Okay.
And him as a guest. Yeah, I think that was a good story.
Yeah, I think so too. And on to Dylan after Mr. Ham for the fact of the day.
Did you know that unicorns are really the national animal of Scotland?
I actually did not know that. I actually read the script previous, and that's completely true. Like, I can't really imagine why.
Maybe they just want to be mythical, okay? They like being mythical. They want to be mythical. Unicorns just it does it for them. I mean, what is there not to like about a unicorn?
That's true. So, like, the eagle in America represents freedom.
You have, like, maple syrup in Canada.
That's maple syrup is not the national animal.
I think it probably is.
What if that was, like, the mascot for, like, their sports team? Was just a bottle of maple syrup. Like a tiger,
honestly,
lion,
that probably
eagle.
is a hockey team in Canada.
The maple syrups.
The, what's the city in Canada?
Moscow?
That is Russia. Moscow is the capital of Russia. Okay,
Quebec.
so Vladimir Putin obviously loves maple syrup.
Do Quebec.
So, what's the city in Canada? Ottawa? No, that's a region, district. I don't know what they're called.
We're very educated.
Very obviously, Canada is definitely where we're from. 100%. Do not go looking at all into my accent. We are 100% Canadian. 100%. Go hockey. Yeah, you get the puck in the goal with a stick. Woo. Hit.
Just what were we doing?
Fact of the day. So, yeah, so, Canada's got the, like, maple syrup. That's the brand name.
Are you making this up?
Yeah, absolutely. 100%. None of this.
But
the unicorn is actually the national animal of Scotland.
It is true.
The chupacabra is from Mexico.
Is that their national animal?
No. I think it's like I don't know.
Who's gonna listen to this?
Our friends.
Ever seen those, like, videos? It's, like, trying to, like, improve the, statistics, your viewership, stuff like that.
We've ruined all of that.
deciding, like, who this is for. Who is this for? Nice work.
So, on to the quote of the day, and I think it really resides with me quite a bit, and I feel deeply connected to this quote, okay?
Okay.
If at first you don't succeed, skydiving probably isn't for you. And I think that is very true. And in fact, I would also add to that I don't think, like, freediving with sharks is for you either.
That's very, very fair.
I just don't think it would end well for you, because it has never ended well for me.
So, would you ever, like, go skydiving in real life?
Absolutely not. That's terrifying. That's stupid. It goes against every sense of well-being and sanity I have.
Exactly. Like,
It's like
I
those...
might bungee jump. Maybe. Like, if
No.
someone convinced me.
Never.
I would never skydive.
Neither. I would never do either. Honestly, you would have to push me really hard to, like...
I mean, that could be arranged.
To go into, like, a haunted house, okay? Because, like, every sense of, like, reason I have is telling me not to go in here because it's going to scare me. And if I didn't know that it was fake, I would have no reason to go in there other than entertainment purposes. And I don't find entertainment in that. So I do not think I would do that.
Interesting. Okay. I can see that.
Okay. So I just wanted to talk to y'all for a little bit about the podcast itself and what our goal is. Our main goal is to just have fun. That's really what it is to have fun and to talk, because that's what two things we love to do. So
what Dylan is saying is, if we ever have 1 second where we do not seem like we're having fun, I want you all to mass report the podcast, like, everywhere.
Please
Yeah.
don't do that.
Please do it.
Do not.
This podcast is sponsored by Raid Shadow Legends, the most ambitious art.
It's got over 1 million downloads on the App Store.
Dude.
Download it today for our free champion loot box with your hero, Moscow the Canadian.
Nice. Okay, so with Raid, I actually have, like, downloaded it before, and, like, it's not like a normal game where there's, like, a paywall if you want to get really good. It gives you so much, and then it's like you just run into a paywall at, like, 100 miles per hour and just crash, because, like, at a certain point, you just fall. Those microtransaction games are the worst.
I don't like mobile games in general, and that's something I actually, like, strongly feel about, is I don't play mobile games at all, ever.
You don't have a single game on your phone.
I have games, but I never use them. I have not used a single game on my phone in, like, over a year.
Right.
The majority of them are on there for, like, my cousins when they borrow my phone. The only one I've ever used is Minecraft, and I can't claim that as a mobile game because it was not intended for mobile. And when I play it on my phone, I use a controller because I hate touchscreens. And itself isn't meant to be a, like, game in general. It's meant to be a creative outlet, in my opinion. Something along the lines of, like, coloring or art sculpture. And Minecraft, for that, actually, one of the reasons that I think it's actually, like, one of the best games of all time. And so mobile games and me, I just don't enjoy. And Raid Shadow Legends especially has never, like, piqued my interest at all. Like, on console, I'll play the occasional RPG game. And I like the premise behind RPGs. I don't like the amount of grinding, though, it required. And especially for something like Raid, where it's paid grinding. You have to pay. I think that's ridiculous.
And there's a certain audience for, like, all types of games. You remember Cookie Clicker? It's literally tap.
I don't
Millions of
Oh my
downloads.
gosh, I haven't thought about that one in years.
So I feel like mobile games, so there are masterpieces. Like, if you ever heard of The Room, like, amazing. Like, the puzzle escape game kind of thing. So I feel like the route it first traveled is that it was the perfect home for Flash games whenever they started to die out, okay? Flash games were just a huge part of my childhood. Like, so many just masterpieces made by people just for fun, you know? Now, the problem lies whenever people do it purely for, like, monetization, because there's so many garbage, horrible Raid, Shadow Legends, apps on the App Store. But I feel like a lot of the Flash games that were transferred over do extraordinarily well on that platform, but things like COD, you know, it just doesn't work. It doesn't
you
feel
never
the same.
saw, like, the COD Warzone mobile app never really took off. Like, it was popular for a few months, but even now, it's like, who plays that on mobile? Because it's not meant to be a mobile game.
Right, right.
I think that at this point, people are looking at phones as a all-encompassing source of entertainment, which I think is a mistake in the long run, because I think, like, movies are not best watched on a phone. I think movies are best watched either in a cinema or, like, with your 4K TV and some popcorn.
Flex.
Like, and your games, like, I don't feel like they're meant to be played on something that can, like, hardly connect to the internet sometimes. And there are literal machines that are significantly cheaper. Like, if you look at an Xbox, it's $300, while as an iPhone, the new ones are $1,200. And that is meant to play games, and it plays games relatively well for what it is.
So, I'm going to ask you, which camp are you in, iPhone or Android?
I am in neither, because I personally feel like both have their pros and cons. So, Apple, in my opinion, I think has a fantastic user interface, like the best.
Right.
But I think they have a way too much privacy and restrictions as far as software goes and what can be put on it. And I think that's one of their downfalls, is that they lack the support for third party.
Exactly. So that's why I'm kind of in camp Android a little bit more. So, how much you can customize it, Apple compared to Android. Now, I know that a closed ecosystem, for a lot of people, is just better. A lot of people just want, I'm going to the store, I'm going to buy my phone, I'm going to bring it back, it's going to work, right? But going off of sheer value, now Apple's processors, the A13, the newest one, is a couple notches ahead of the Samsung one, right? But when you count in, like, all the screen, all the internals, everything, it just doesn't match the price. Now, the thing about, like, the Apple ecosystem is that it's great, iMessage and FaceTime are just seamless. But the thing is that once you get caught in this ecosystem, it kind of changes how you buy phones. So companies are trying to stay competitive, right? You're trying to get lower and lower prices. That's the best thing for the consumer. But the thing about whenever you get into the Apple ecosystem, now it's a great ecosystem. There's lots of great things in there. But say, for example, that Apple's next phone is not great, okay? So it's very, very clear to anybody that looks at it that it's worse than the most recent, say, Samsung phone. But since you already have an Apple TV, you already have your Apple Watch, you're not going to get a Samsung phone to make those conveniences obsolete, which gives Apple just, another edge. They don't have to work as hard. They don't have to work that much on innovation, since they already have people in the ecosystem, which is the reason I like Android, is because, Android, encompasses all those companies, Samsung, OnePlus, LG, like everything. And you get to choose between specs and which phone is best versus which ecosystem you're trapped in.
I think that's a fair point. And I think Apple, one of their problems is they're really focused on the monetization. They really want their money. Like, if you look at, I currently have the iPhone 6S, and it works really well still, like, to this day. And it's like 5-6 years old at this point. And, like, the new one, yeah, it's got better camera, better life, better storage, but at the base, there's a $600 difference, and there's not that much of a difference, in my opinion. Like, I don't think that a better camera and, like, storage is worth $600.
Exactly, and, like, obviously, techies are gonna know, like, all the differences, but it's really started to stagnate a little bit, right? Like, the comparison between, I'm going to go off Apple here, since they were the first ones to make the major, smartphone. The differences between, like, the 1, the 2, and the 3, there were such huge leaps and bounds in, like, technology. But after you see, you got the iPhone 8, iPhone 10, 10R, like, there's little improvements here, AR, another camera, but, like, if you pick up an iPhone 8, or if you pick up an iPhone 6, unless you're super, super concerned about having all the best features, you're not really going to notice, right? Like, batteries can decay over time, so getting an older phone might have some disadvantages, but to be honest, it's kind of stagnated at the top right now, and a lot of people are looking for innovation with, like, the Samsung folding device. People want something new and fresh. They don't just want another box that has slightly better internals.
I think that in the near future, we're going to hit a point where technology is going to proceed much slower, because it's already started to do that.
Yeah.
And I think that when we hit that point, I hope the companies realize that they need to focus more on like quality of life changes.
Mhm.
Like there hasn't been a huge overhaul of like Android OS or iOS in years. Like there's the occasional update that adds, new emojis, a few new required apps, but nothing like huge. And I think that especially for Android, and I think this is a huge thing for Android, is they need to focus a lot on improving their OS to actually challenge the iPhone. Like to actually come up to where it is much more supreme. Because I think if they can master their like operating system and their quality of life, they could take Apple like overnight. They have the much more power. They have a lot more options, and I think overall it's the better choice. But I currently have an iPhone, so
Yeah, it is very close though. Like, again, getting the newest iPhone or getting the newest Android, you're not going to know difference. And again, Android is all encompassing, so it's kind of hard to say one company versus, if you think about all the ones in like China, India, like 10,000 companies. But to be honest, probably 5 or 6 main ones: Samsung, OnePlus, LG, Google, Huawei,
and the
that's pretty much it.
Nokia, I think.
Is Nokia still around?
Yeah, I think they have some new ones, but I'm not sure of that.
Oh dang! Well, check that out.
Well, I wanted to thank everyone for listening to us ramble for, half hour, however long this ends up being. And want to talk about some goals for the podcast. Is we want to have guests, and we really want to hear y'all's feedback about what works, what doesn't work. We're all new to this. We're still very young and learning, and so we want to provide the best content that we possibly can.
Oh, and we'd love to interact with you guys as much as possible. We're going to end up making a Twitter and a YouTube account, so if you ever want to message us, give us any ideas, or just comment on our videos, we'd absolutely love to hear it. So again, we're going to be new at this. This video may be a bit choppy, but as we get going through the 2nd, 3rd, 4th episodes, everything's going to go a lot more smoothly, alright? And it's going to sound excellent. I think that is all.
Yeah, I believe that's it. Thanks everyone for listening, and we hope you tune in next time. This has been The Butterflyeffect. I'm Dylan.
You said Butterflecked.
This has been The Butterflyeffect. I'm Dylan. And I'm Seth.
So do we stop now?
We need to do an ending. Okay, thanks everyone for watching, and...